guys, it's Devin, and today we are talking about drugstore makeup even more. I did a part 1, which was all about all of my favorite face products from the drugstore, and now this is part 2, which is about the eyes and lips. I always get asked about what my favorite products are, so I decided to just go ahead and make a video about all of my favorites from my experiences in the drugstore, my past years of using makeup. So let's do it. So now jumping into eyes, liquid liner. This is the NYC liquid liner in black. I think this is the only color it comes in. It's super cheap, it has a great brush tip, it's super black, it dries down matte, which you know, your girl likes matte. I've had this for probably 4 or 5 months maybe, and I have not experienced any drying out, no pigmentation loss. It's still kicking just as good as it was the first day I got it, except the writing is faded off, but that's fine, we don't need it. But one thing to mention, if you have watery eyes, like I have watery eyes sometimes, like when I'm doing eyeliner and I like got my wing out and then I immediately start, like my eyes just start watering because I think they know that I'm trying to wear wing liner and they're like, nah, we're gonna ruin your fun. Or like when I'm outside, this is definitely a problem because I live in a city, like in downtown. A lot of wind tunnels and the wind in your eyes makes your eyes water. If you have a problem with really watery eyes, this is not waterproof. It bleeds, it will run when it hits water. That being said, I typically just use a gel or like a liquid, not a liquid, it's my Tartist, the paint liner, on the outer part and then like kind of fill in the outer part of the wing with something that I know is waterproof, and then I'll do the rest of it with this. So that might be something you want to try out. But yeah, it's not a huge problem. It doesn't keep me from using this on a regular basis. It's just on those days where I just know that my eyes are going to start watering, I definitely opt to use a different product either in combination or just in total. For pencils, for my waterline, I'm a fan of the NYX Wonder Pencil. If you watch my videos, you know this because I think I literally use it in like every video. It's just a really great nude. They have it in I think 3 different colors, so if you are darker than me, you're in luck because I can't imagine how annoying that would be. It's really great, super creamy. You can use it for a ton of different things. You can line the waterline. Sometimes I line like the under part of my wing if it kind of got a little messed up, or I'll like outline my lips and then blend it out obviously. But yeah, it's super versatile, and also NYX's pencils in general are really nice and really creamy, so if you're looking for a black or a pop of color or anything like that, I would definitely try those out. Alright, and really quickly, my favorite drugstore mascara is the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara. It's the only mascara I've been using for a really long time, and it's just really good at lengthening lashes, so if that's what you're into. Okay, eyeshadow in the drugstore is confusing to me because single eyeshadows get pretty expensive, and I don't like single eyeshadows really. I don't really use them, and palettes, for the most part, just, I don't know, are kind of lackluster. So I have a few suggestions here, but I'm by no means an eyeshadow expert. Eyeshadows are typically what I spend the money on, so. The NYX AVANT Pop palette, they have 3 different colors of these. The one I have is SURREAL My Heart, and it's a really great palette. The pigmentation is really nice, and it has a pretty good amount of mattes and shimmery shades. It doesn't have a ton of fallout. NYX's eyeshadows can be pretty hit or miss, but these palettes are definitely a thumbs up. Wet n Wild has a bunch of really small eyeshadow palettes. There are a lot of permanent ones, and then there are also a lot of limited edition ones that always come in collections. The only ones I have are from collections, but I still wanted to share them with you because the shadows in general are just really good quality. So this is just one of the ones I have. It's probably my favorite, and this came from like the spring, so I know you can't find it now, but I'm using this as an example. I'm not talking about this specific one. Their palettes are super affordable, and especially for the price, they have a really great pigmentation. Their mattes can be a little bit on the powdery side and can kind of like kick up a lot of product and have some fallout, but their shimmery shades are always really good, and the matte shades are still good and they're still very usable. They're just not as good as like a higher quality, obviously. They also have single shadows, which I used to have a few, but I don't have any anymore. But they're also really cheap, and they're also a really good quality. Alright, now I have two honorable mentions. They're honorable mentions because they are not actually available in the drugstore, but I believe that they are appropriately priced to be considered a drugstore brand, so I just wanted to really quickly mention them. ColourPop Cosmetics is wonderful. Their eyeshadows are $5 a piece. They're a really interesting cream kind of powder formula. They always have a really great pigmentation. They have the largest shade range ever, super affordable, and these are some of my favorite shadows. And the other brand I wanted to mention was Morphe. I have two Morphe palettes, and they have single shadows, which I've never tried, but I've heard good things about. But they also have these really great 35 pan palettes, and they have a ton of different palettes. They have some colorful ones, they have neutral ones, they have matte ones, they have smoky ones. They got everything, and they're priced so well. This is probably the palette I use the most. I have this one and a really colorful one that you might have seen in some of my videos, but I definitely think it's worth ordering from them. These are great, great palettes. They have really great pigmentation. They have a large shade range, and I am a really big fan. And also for the price, like, this is a pretty big palette. I'm covering the mirror so I don't blind you. Like, dang. For lashes, I love Ardell lashes, the brand, and my favorite lashes are the Wispies and the DEMI Wispies. They're super natural, they're super easy to wear and apply. The problem is I don't have any to show you because, let me tell you a little story. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, and don't worry, I'm not gonna spoil anything, a few weeks ago there was a very traumatic episode with something traumatic happening, and it was very unexpected for me, and I was emotionally not prepared. And I was wearing lashes and I cried them off. I cried them off and they're ruined, but the funny thing is that I still have them because I was hoping I'd be able to save them, but I think I just need to let them go. Look, it's all clumpy. It's like clumped together and there's like product stuck all over it because I was a mess that night. But this is not a good representation of what they look like. I will plug in some pictures of either me wearing them or them in the package somewhere on the screen so you can see what they actually look like, because it's definitely not this. I actually don't have a favorite lash glue from the drugstore, but I've heard good things about the Duo brush-on adhesive. I'm not really a fan of their normal adhesive in the bottle, the latex kind. It just doesn't really work well for me, but I haven't actually been able to use the brush tip, but I've heard good things about that, so kind of take that with a grain of salt if you're really wanting to find a glue from the drugstore. So lip liners, I don't really buy a lot of lip liners. I don't really use, I use lip liners, but I don't really feel the need to buy a bunch of them. So when I do buy them, they're always from NYX. I have two favorites. I have Peekaboo Neutral. It's just a really nice cool toned rosy pink. And then there's also Natural, which is just also a really nice like neutral pink as well. They have a ton of really great colors. They're super affordable. They're really creamy. You can wear them alone or you can pair them with a lipstick. So those are definitely my lip liners of choice. I'm just going to briefly mention once again that I really, really like matte lipstick. Every lipstick I use is matte, so one lipstick I think everybody should have is the NYX matte lipstick in Whipped Caviar. This is such a good color. It's just a really beautiful, like neutral to slightly cool, but not super cool. Just like a really nice mid-tone pink. I feel like it would just look good on so many people. They're super creamy, they're not really drying, they don't really emphasize like all the grossness on your lips, and they're really great. This is my favorite color from them. I only have one other one, which is a little out there, but so yeah, I'm pretty sure that in total this range is really great. So any color from the NYX matte lipstick line. Words. Next are the Maybelline matte lipsticks. I feel like these are probably tied with the NYX ones to be my favorite lipstick formula. I feel like they glide on the lips really well. They can pick up a little bit of the dead skin, but not like little pieces, just like, you know, if you like really need to exfoliate and you haven't, definitely like just do a little something before you apply these. They have a really great shade range. I want to pick up so many more of them, but I just have to contain myself, contain my feelings. My two that I have that I absolutely love are Daringly Nude and Touch of Spice. Daringly Nude has been my ride or die for like a year now. It is such a beautiful peachy nude. They also have more brown nudes and more tan nudes, so they have basically everyone covered. And then the other one is Touch of Spice, which was like super, super popular last year. This is just a really nice pinky berry. So last I wanted to mention the NYX Liquid Suede lipsticks. I have 3 of these. This is my favorite color of all time. I've only had it for like a month, but it's so good. This is Sandstorm. It is a really nice brown nude. They also have some pinker shades. They have a nice wide shade range, but it's not huge, but they do cover a lot of the bases, which is really great. These are super awesome. They're liquid lipsticks, but they're not really drying, so they're super comfortable to wear. I do have a first impressions on these as well. I will also put that in the description bar. And also, just a brief side note, if you're into the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks, if you are familiar with those, this is a really, really great dupe for celebrity skin. And then one more honorable mention are the ColourPop Lippie Sticks. And again, I repeat, ColourPop has a huge shade range. They have every single color your little heart could desire. They have matching lip pencils for every single one of them. They have matte, they have cream, they have sheer, they have glossy. They have a ton of different formulas. I'm, of course, a fan of the matte ones. I know you're surprised. If you really are wanting some of the ColourPop stuff and that really sounds interesting, I do definitely think it is worth purchasing online and kind of taking the risk of not exactly knowing what you're gonna get. I definitely recommend these as well. I know that it is not a drugstore brand, but I feel like I gave you plenty of options that are actually in the drugstore that I'm kind of able to cheat a little bit and tell you about stuff that you can't actually go to the store and buy. Alright, and that concludes this long journey. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. If you like this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. There's a link to do so on the screen, as well as links to all my social media accounts, and that stuff is also in the description bar as well. That's all I have to say, so I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.